I'm Sergeant Bill Campbell with the Gilbert Police Department. I am the Advanced Training Sergeant for the Gilbert Police Department and the Gilbert Police Academy. My primary role is that I manage and supervise all in-service training for current police officers, and I also manage all the proficiency training for all of our Police Academy recruits. The training center is a joint training center for both police and fire. It's 52 acres total. All of our facilities and all of our training props are all designed to be joint use. Nothing is specifically just for fire and nothing is specifically just for police. In the past, we would drive 30 minutes to go to a range, and then we would drive 2 hours to go to a driving track. We would go some other place for building clearing. And so the nice thing about having this facility is that we're able to do all of our skills. And again, we're able to cross-train with our firemen. So trying to get them together working with us for something like rescue task force or active shooter can be a real challenge. It's much easier when we can bring everybody to one place and everybody's familiar with where everything is at that one place. Our fire props are set up to be residential structures. We have a strip mall, we have a 5-story tower. So everything that we've designed here has been designed to be able to service the needs of both. So even something that we would generally think of as police training, such as the shooting range, we actually have the ability to use that for our fire department as well. So if it's 118 degrees outside, I actually have really large rooms that we would normally shoot in that are air conditioned, that I could have our firemen come in and they could do rescues, they could do drills with hoses and equipment, and not have to be working in 118 degrees in turnouts. So even though the range was designed for police use primarily, we also have found ways to use everything for the fire department and vice versa. Everything we do for public safety as a whole. It's not just police and it's not fire. Traditionally, many areas of the country separate those two services. We see ourselves as peers, we see ourselves as partners. We also try to integrate their training in with ours. And that trend goes really in line with the current standards for the way active shooter and rescue task forces are now being done, where police and fire are recognizing that we can't separate when their lives are at stake. We have to work together. I am in charge of things that would traditionally be separated. So in most police academies, you have your driving section, and then you have a firearms section, and then you have a defensive tactics section. All three of those overlap. We recognize that an officer may find themselves in a scenario that goes from the car to a fight into where they potentially have to defend themselves using deadly force. So we try to get rid of the walls between them, and we try to teach them. We're still teaching the primary principles for each of them, but we try to break down the walls between them and teach them more as a practical principles where they are shared, and we want those to flow together. We want an officer to be able to easily channel from one into the other as reasonableness and as the principles allow. We traditionally have seen that everything is taught either in a classroom or it's taught on a range. I see firearms training very much like boxing. You can't just beat a heavy bag and be a good boxer. You can't just beat a speed bag and be a good boxer. At some point, you have to take those raw skills and you have to actually put them with a living, breathing, sparring partner. And so we see firearms training in that way as well. We start off in the classroom where we teach the principles of firearms safety. We then move into the range and we teach the principles of good gun handling as well as marksmanship, and how to use the firearm safely, but also how to use it fast and effectively as necessary. But that's not enough. We can't just stop there. We then have to put them in that environment that they're actually going to see and use it. And that's where the VirTra comes in, putting our students into scenario-based environments where they can see where those practical skills are going to be necessary and used. So the VirTra simulator is great because it actually puts the person or the student in a scenario where they are surrounded. And particularly that we have the VirTra 300, so it actually surrounds the student. So that training environment is real. That's what the real world is like. We don't have everything, all of our problems right in front of us at all times. So the ability to have something come up on another side that we weren't expecting or that we weren't focused on not only allows my officers to have more of a spatial awareness, but also to keep their heads on a swivel. To me, the other most advantageous thing about the VirTra system is the fact that we do use real firearms. They are made safe for the VirTra, but they are real firearms, and so the officer is drawing from their real holster, using the gun that feels exactly like theirs, using the exact same sighting system. And when they press the trigger, the gun cycles with a recoil that is identical to the real recoil of their 9mm pistol. What I really enjoy is the way that the instructor has the ability to change the scenario, because the instructor is listening and paying attention to how the student is interacting, and then based on how the student responds, the instructor can change it in whatever direction he wants. So if the student needs to de-escalate, then the instructor can choose specific paths that will lead him or guide him down that path. I've been a professional firearms instructor for more than 25 years now, and I teach all over the country. I've seen pretty much every range or every type of range there is and every type of simulator that there is, and my experience has been that the VirTra simulator system is the gold standard. It is the best thing out there. I've not seen anything better than this. I know that there has been some experimentation with virtual reality and things like that. I don't think that it has come to the area that the VirTra simulator does. The huge value of this type of system is that I can put multiple officers in it at the same time, and they're all working the same problem together. So we want to be forward thinking. We want to be looking ahead and not be caught by the waves that go across technology, but be ahead of those waves. When it came for the decision of, well, what simulator are we going to buy, and which company are we going to use to build our ranges, the list was very short. We wanted to have what we considered the very best. The environment that Action Target made for us, in my opinion, is a best in practice. And the real advantages to our indoor range was that, number one, it was large. So it was as large as an outdoor range traditionally is. We have one that's 50 yards and we have one that's 25 yards. Both of them are 20 targets wide. We have the ability to make them dark anytime we want, and we can put any light environment that we like. We have the ability to bring in actual patrol cars and put them on the range. So the ability to work from a car, around a car, in a car, while using a firearm is not always necessarily easy to do on an indoor range. One of the other advantages that we have on this particular range is that we have a moving target system that is a lateral mover that will go from a crawl, walk, run speeds. We also have a recycling program. We're one of the few ranges that is completely frangible, and we are a lead-free copper frangible range. So all of our ammunition, the bullet itself just destroys itself on the trap, and then we recycle it. So about 85% of every cartridge, everything except for the propellant, is recycled. All of that recycled product goes that I have with Action Target uses those funds to come out and pay for the maintenance that they give that they do on our range. Gilbert Police Department, along with some of the other neighboring cities, we actually have standards that are higher than the state standard. So the state standard for a qualification is an 84%. In Gilbert, we've raised that up to about an 88%. Since we've been doing things like that, all of our officers have been able to raise their skill levels. On the recruit level, what we have found is that consistently the way that we teach has resulted in higher final scores when they take their final certification test. Instead of the officers just going through an academy and cooperate, graduate, they're actually coming out with a much better education. Today's student needs to interact to really learn. And so the traditional, everything is a lecture and then go out and take a test or some kind of a practical test may have worked in my day 30 years ago, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not as effective today. So we tried to really increase the interaction the practical experience and the practical exercises as much as we can. We try to host as much training as we can, but we want to become a leader and a best in practices standard for the way training should be done. Our focus isn't just on what would traditional police tactics, but also in recognizing our community, recognizing what their needs are, recognizing how we can better communicate with them and how we can better serve them.